May the souvenir gods accept this humble offering. My 14-year-old daughter and I had an epic trip to Disneyland and Universal Studios Hollywood. We hit Oogie Boogie Bash as well as Halloween Horror Nights while we were there. Let's take a look at the souvenirs I picked up and which park got more of my money. Off with Disneyland, since we started off there with Oogie Boogie Bash and then 2 days at Disneyland Park. Third bag hidden in the Universal Studios bag. And the first contestant is a Disney Park Happy Halloween 2022 pin. I thought the pin was cool, and I love when I go at Christmas or Halloween or Easter getting seasonal pins. Every year that I go to a Disney park, which is pretty much every year, I always get a pin that has Disneyland or Disney World and then the year. They were completely out of them, but thankfully I was able to get this Halloween special edition limited release. Bag has more pins. Pretty excited to share these with you. Here are the pins we picked up from Oogie Boogie Bash. This was our first time attending Oogie Boogie Bash. We've done the Halloween and Christmas parties at Disney World, but never the one at Disneyland, and we had to hunt for these. I'm so grateful we found them. We finally found a store that had them. These were the last two they had. My daughter picked out the one with Dr. Facilier. I think that's pretty cool. He was at Oogie Boogie Bash, but we didn't get to meet him. I picked out the one with Oogie Boogie because it's called Oogie Boogie Bash, and how could anyone resist that pin? And isn't that cool? What makes these pins extra special to me is it represents a trip with my daughter and the fun time we had at Oogie Boogie Bash and the parade dessert party. Last purchase from Disney we had to hunt for. Every Disney World, Disneyland trip, we always get ornaments as a souvenir. And then we have a Christmas tree that are ornaments that we picked up from the parks. We went to multiple stores looking for ornaments that were just Disneyland 2022 ornaments, and they weren't anywhere at all. Thankfully, I found this for $25. I think this is an okay ornament. I'm not like in love with it. It doesn't say Disneyland on it, but it does have the year. I like how it has the classic D logo. And then it's got Minnie and Mickey together on it. Mission accomplished in terms of getting the year. I like it, but not what I had in mind when I was looking for a Disneyland 2022 ornament. Universal with some pins since we've been on a pin streak. This was our first trip to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Hollywood. We did pick up 2 Halloween Horror Night pins. I like these pins because they show the classic Universal monsters and they're not just like gory or unsettling. So I really like this logo for Halloween Horror Nights. So one for myself, one for my daughter, and then this was the official logo for Halloween Horror Nights for 2022. Picked up this magnet for my office. I do like to collect magnets when I go on vacation, and I have a magnet board they'll go on. So this one's a little bit scarier than the pins. Really appreciative to find these. And by the way, I didn't have to hunt. They were plentiful. They were all over the park. And because we went 2 days before Halloween, everything was on sale. So this entire bundle cost me $21. 2 pins and a magnet for $21, man. Can't beat that value. I did pick up some clothing. Let's see what we got. First up, this very, very soft t-shirt. Like as soon as I touched it, I could tell the high quality of it. And it just, you know when you get like a nice, just soft shirt, man, that you know you're gonna love, like hanging out in on your couch? That is this shirt. I love the color blue. And then it says, "Visit Enchanting Hogsmeade." And if you've been to Universal Studios Hollywood, that archway is the entrance into Hogsmeade, and then the castle is right behind it as you walk through the village. It's just an awesome, nerdy, super comfy Harry Potter shirt, man. Curious, the shirt was $27. That was another gem from Halloween Horror Nights. Check out this long sleeve t-shirt with all the classic Universal monsters. Again, it's a really soft, nice, comfy cotton material. I love that it's not just like a gory, unsettling image, so I can wear this around my kids. And $40 list price on it for the long sleeve shirt. But because all the Halloween Horror Nights merchandise was on sale, I picked it up for $20. I do also like to collect coffee mugs from my trips, so let's see what I picked up. I solemnly swear I am up to no good. And this is a big mug, man. This is a 3 teabagger mug of the King's Tea. So it is a Marauders Map mug. I think probably the most standout memory of this trip was being at Halloween Horror Nights with my daughter and us spending a ton of time in Hogwarts. They had a Death Eater encounter. The castle was all lit up. You could feel this is a nice quality mug. And I really like how all the lettering is raised on it. Oh, the Marauders map is even raised. That's really cool. I don't know if you can appreciate that fully on the camera. It gives it a nice grip and texture to it. It's a beautiful, beautiful mug. $21 for those of you playing. I'm excited to share this with you guys. The Nerdery's first pair of wands. It was a really cool bonding experience with my daughter, each picking out a wand. I narrowed it down to 3 wands, and then I narrowed it down to 2, and I legitimately couldn't decide, and I thought, you know what? I'm a good boy. Let's get both. This wand was so cool and unique, I couldn't resist picking it up. For those of you that haven't been there yet, it comes with a map of where you can cast spells in Hogsmeade. One of the things that's fun about going to the Harry Potter land is it is interactive with the wand. So you walk through Hogsmeade and you use the spells that they teach you here, and then you can interact with all of Hogsmeade. I'm really drawn to this wand because Sirius Black is one of my favorite characters in Harry Potter. And then once I started looking at it, I realized it wasn't like a plain wand. This thing is very intricately carved. Front of the wand just looks like almost like a classic Renaissance carving. It's beautiful. It's a repeating pattern and it's elegant, right? When you get to the back of the wand, the cast member explained to me that these are runes that Sirius carved while he was in Azkaban. There's a dichotomy on this wand between like this beautiful classical style of carving and then the insanity of Azkaban, and then he wields the power of both. I also really like how this is a tube, and then when you get here, it's a rectangle with 4 sides, but then each side is shaved down as well. So it almost is like a little bit of a hexagon. And you take it out, it fits wonderfully in the hand. I just love that this represents like the 2 parts of Sirius Black, you know, his true nature, and then balancing out the insanity of Azkaban. It's going to look awesome on my desk upstairs. When it really came down to it, my first choice wand was absolutely my first choice. And part of it is because it belongs to one of my favorite characters, but then the other part is the wand really doesn't belong to anyone. The wand has to be earned through combat. May I present to you Professor Dumbledore's Elder Wand. Look at that beautiful, beautiful wand, man. As soon as I saw this, I just felt like I had a prop from the movie. It looks ancient. It looks magical. Love the detail with the runes carved in there. And I like how like each inflection point grows as you go up the wand. No, it's not the Ark of the Covenant, but it is wrapped well. And if you're going to have 2 wands, you got to have a wand holder for your desk. Big thanks to the cast member who told me that this was an option. They had 2 other wand holders out, which only held 1 wand each, so I was going to have to buy 2 for $35. She told me she had this in the back. She went, got it, pulled it out, and it was $35, and it holds 2 wands, so it takes up less space on my desk, and it saved me money. And I didn't even know about it. I didn't ask if there was another option. She just offered it. It's got a little bit of reflectiveness to it, but it's not like really ostentatious, as says Wizarding World of Harry Potter. And then it fits both wands on it. Let's take this thing for a test drive. First up is the wand of Sirius Black. Oh, that's so cool. And now we shall take the Elder Wand. Oh, and gently place it on its holding place. Oh, I'm so glad I got the double wand holder. That is so cool. And I really like the muted gold because this is a very deep brown, and then this is a much lighter tone brown, and the gold plays off both of them, and it kind of brings out like the warmth in each of the woods. And what I really like is how much this pops. I mean, that your eye is immediately drawn to these rune carvings. Now the question is, so I've got back to front here and then back to front here. So do I have them like that, or do I have them both going in the same direction? The best for last, my very first Slytherin robes. We picked these up in the park. They were $150 each. We purposely bought them to wear around the park all day, but mainly to have a costume for Halloween Horror Nights. But since we're both Slytherins, we had a plan and we're ambitious, and we made a commitment to do this. And I am so glad we bought it because, one, it was a blast running around Universal Studios all day in my Slytherin robes. Cast members were interacting with me, talking to me as if I was in the Slytherin house. These robes are like a very high quality. I love the green color inside. Nice contrast to the black. I mean, look how cool that looks. The black on the green. And then it has a full hood in the back that hangs down. The sleeves are really wide and flowing. and then you have more of the green lining underneath. This is honestly one of my most special and most prized souvenirs I've ever gotten from a park. It reminds me of an absolutely magical day I had with my daughter. Let me know in the comments below what you think the MVP souvenir is from my trips to Disneyland and Universal Hollywood.